Welcome into today's edition of the Arizona State Sun Devils on SI podcast or Insider podcast, whichever way you want to call it. My name is Kevin Hicks, and I will be joining you today as I have every day for the last 2 weeks and hopefully for many more weeks to come. As you can see on the banner, follow me on X at khicks_21 as this Arizona State Sun Devils football season quickly approaches. I will be there at virtually every practice, every game, and every press conference during the duration of the season and the preseason. And I will be getting video content for virtually everything. So follow me for video content, news, updates, insider tidbits, and analysis, along with my articles that I will be getting out daily. Um, I It's my goal to give Sun Devils fans the most insightful, most connective, most convenient analysis, news, everything in between that I possibly can. And thank you so much for consuming my content and enjoying it. I can't describe how much it means to me. And yeah, so let's get started from there. This might be a little bit of a shorter show today, and we might be going over a wide variety of topics, but it'll be fine. It'll connect together. So first, I want to start off by talking about the Arizona State Sun Devils baseball team. As of when the recording comes out in the morning, we will have known the result of the Arizona State opening tournament game as the 3 seed against the Long Beach State. No, UC Irvine Anteaters, my mistake. UC Irvine is 41-15 this season, and they have several impressive victories over the season. They weren't just beating up on Big West competition; they were beating teams in the Power Four and competing with teams in the Power Four, including Vanderbilt. So they are a serious challenge. Arizona State has a collective 5.27 ERA as a pitching staff. Despite that, 8 all Big 12 team players. The talent is absolutely there. The best offense in the Big 12. Let's throw the 4-game losing streak to end the season going into the tournament outside the window. It's a fresh slate now, and they absolutely can make a run. So if you want to watch Saturday's game, the times are not yet disclosed for that, but tonight's game is a must win. There's no way around it. If they lose and they get put in an elimination game right away, that will not bode well for the program. So that's enough for baseball. Let's go to football recruiting. So 24/7 Sports updated their 2026 recruiting rankings for every program in FBS. And Arizona State currently comes in at number 12. Number 12, which I believe is the second best for a West Coast based team. I believe USC is number 1 on that list, so they are obviously the top dog for West Coast and Southwest based teams. But outside of that, Arizona State's pacing ahead of Washington, who's ranked 25th, Oregon, the powerhouse Oregon, who's ranked 27th, BYU 31, Stanford 47, Arizona 60, and then Colorado and Utah all the way down at 80 and 90 so far. Obviously, this is early in the process and a lot can change, but Kenny Dillingham and his staff is doing an absolutely phenomenal job on the recruiting trail. That cannot be overstated enough. They already have 14 commitments from this class. 7 of them are from Texas, and Brian Carrington, the DB coach, has a lot to do with that due to his ties with the state. It's obviously going to be vital to recruit in Arizona, recruit in Texas, and recruit in California. And they seem to be doing a fair job on all three, especially in Texas. That is going to be one of the keys towards building staying power at the top of the Big 12. And so far, every indication is that Kenny Dillingham will continue this trend and the success that has been built over the last year, the foundation that's been built since he got hired in November 2022, looks like it's going to continue to be very much that way. Looks like it's going to keep going. All right, so for some bad news when it comes to the recruiting trail, I wanted to talk about Arizona State basketball. As we know, Bobby Hurley's squad finishes the season 4-16 in Big 12 play in 2024-25. They lose the opening game of the Big 12 tournament. They lose in the new Las Vegas tournament to Nebraska to finish the season 13-20. Jaden Quaytons transfers to Kentucky. Josan Sannon transfers to St. John's. Amir Ali transfers to Mississippi State. They lose out on Koa Pete, which was allegedly a last-minute decision that he chose to go to Arizona. So some unfortunate developments within the basketball program over the last few months. Well, yesterday was another unfortunate development. So Jayon Pitt, 6'7", four-star power forward in the 2026 class. He's considered the 109th best player in the nation in the 2026 recruiting class. He's actually a local high school student. He goes to Bella Vista Prep in Scottsdale. He officially decommitted from Arizona State and signed with Pacific University yesterday, according to Chris Cartman of Sun Devil Source. And that is very, very unfortunate because the recruiting class this year needed to hold up because Bobby Hurley is doing the best he can to fill out the roster with transfer portal players. But you need to have some freshmen too. We've seen in the transfer portal era that most teams need a blend of young talent and experienced talent. You can't just throw it together construct a roster one way or the other. Typically hasn't worked out very well. So the fact that Jayon Pitt went to Pacific or has officially committed to Pacific is not a good thing for the program. Hurley's going to have to continue to work hard to build a roster that can compete in the Big 12 in year number 2 in the conference. And he's got to find a way to get Arizona State back to the NCAA tournament. There's no way around that. It's well known, and it's too early to count Hurley out. We got to be honest about that. The last 2 times he had his back against the wall were 2 of the best seasons the Sun Devils had under him as a program. Let's look back to 2018-19. So that was coming off of the disappointing season where they peaked at number 3 in the AP poll and ended up falling out of the top 25 about a month after. They barely snuck into the tournament, then they lost to St. John. No, they didn't lose to St. John's. Okay, I forgot who they lost to. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, they lost in the first 4 matchup, and there was a lot of uncertainty about Bobby Hurley after that season going to 2018-19. He brought in Lujan Stort. He brought in Zylan Cheatham. That team ended up advancing to the first round of the tournament in the round of 64. Of course, they lost to Buffalo, but that was a team that was actually good. They just ran into a juggernaut that was Buffalo. So there's not much Hurley could have done about that. And then 22-23, he brought together a team with Desmond Cambridge Jr., Warren Washington, very talented squad that came back after a season that was very disappointing, headlined by players such as Marion Jackson. Ended up nearly going to the round of 32, losing to TCU in a heartbreaker. But once again, he overachieved significantly, and there's potential for it this season with guys like Marcus Adams Jr. and Mo Odom coming into the fold. So we will see what transpires over the next several calendar months. The season is set to begin early November, and I will be covering the basketball team as well. So excited to be doing that, and we'll see what happens over the next year. All right, that's all for today. My name is Kevin Hicks once again, Arizona State Sun Devils on SI Podcast. So grateful for everybody who takes time to tune in every single day. Thank you so much, and catch you tomorrow.